When we last spoke to our next guest, the fourth book of her Crossfire series had just been released. The fifth and final installment hits bookstores today. Busy times. We're glad New York Times bestselling author Sylvia Day could carve out a few minutes for us. Good morning, Sylvia.
Good morning.
It's called One With You. What is this novel about? And if you could explain how it fits into this series.
Well, this is the final novel in a 5-book series, the Crossfire series, so readers who are just getting on board can get it from beginning to end in one shot. We've been following the love story of Ava and Gideon. When she first moves to New York, which is how we start the series, she is absolutely certain that Manhattan and her new job, her new apartment, this is going to be the great love of her life, this city. And then, of course, she meets our hero, Gideon Cross, and we watch them over the course of these 5 novels try to make a relationship work. It's extremely difficult for them. They have a hard time of it. But when we get to One With You, you know, we're finally seeing them get to the point where we feel they're going to make it.
Well, the ring's on the cover. That says a lot. The significance.
It's a beautiful cover. I love it.
Yeah. The significance of this release date is important to you. I know. What is it about? What is it? April 5th. It is today. What is it about April 5th?
Well, it's almost not quite the 4th anniversary of the release of the first book in the series, which came out on April 3rd in 2012. So readers have gotten 5 novels in 4 years.
Let me ask you back then, did you know this would be a series, or did it just evolve that way? Take us into your process.
I expected it to be 2 novels when I started. I figured the first novel would be Ava's story and the second novel would be Gideon's story. And then when I got about halfway through the second novel, I realized I was where I expected to be in the first book. So clearly I was not going to be able to wrap it up in 2. I wasn't sure how many novels it was going to take until I got, you know, partway through the 3rd novel, I realized, you know, it's probably going to be 5. And we were able to get to the point where we needed to be in 5 novels.
The series has been optioned for television by Lionsgate. Where does that stand?
Well, it's been in development for the last 3 years. They optioned it in 2013. It's been in active development the whole time. It's a very slow process. You know, you would hope that it would go a little bit faster. But, you know, on the other hand, I think it's great that readers get to finish the series and the novels first before the show hits, you know, TVs around the world. But, you know, it's still in development. People ask me all the time, when is it coming out? And I'm like, I don't have a date to give you, but I can promise that it's being actively worked on, and we're having a good time with it.
I'm sure you're at the top of the list of people who would like to know that answer, since it's already taken this amount. I mean, you've written several books in the amount of time it's taken for the television part of this to play out. But I know the end for Crossfire makes way for the start of another series called Blacklist. What can you tell us about it?
Well, the Crossfire series follows Ava and Gideon over the span of just a few months, which is unusual for me in all of my novels. So when I go into the Blacklist series, I'm able to go over a span of years, which is really exciting for me. We get to see this couple the first time they try to make a relationship work when they're in college, and then we get to see them again a few years later where, you know, the relationship didn't work the first time, and they're different people. You know, they've matured, they've become a little bit more jaded, and can you try again, and should you try again? Maybe you know, the relationship has run its course. So we get to see a very different style of relationship, but it's still, you know, it's still one of the love stories that people are most familiar with me.
A big day for you, Sylvia. One With You available as of today, where books are sold. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure.